On August 25th, the Toronto Maple Leafs traded Kasperi-Kapanen and other assets to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for assets and the 15th overall pick in the 2020 NHL Draft. Instantly, when you saw that trade, you knew that Maple Leafs fans would be speculating about who would be picked with the 15th overall selection. This is my scouting report. But what do they do with the 15th overall pick? I mean, they have plenty of options. There's teams that would love to move up and love to move down with that 15th overall pick right in the middle of the first round. But you know what? I don't think we're going to trade this. I think we're going to draft a defenseman, but there's also other options on the board. There's good goalies in this year's draft. There's an abundance of forwards, like always. I want to talk to you about 5 defensemen and 1 goalie prospect from this year's draft coming up that I think would be good suits or not so good suitors for the Maple Leafs. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to go over them in depth. But before we get into the defensemen, I want to talk to you about a goalie prospect. That's right, a goalie prospect. Because Frederik Andersen, I don't think he's going to be around much longer. If he's around for this season, I'd be surprised. I think he's either going to be dealt or he's just going to go at the end of the season via free agency. Because we're not going to have the cap space, and he's going to be older at that point, and he's just going to want a lot of money. We're not going to be able to pay Freddie Andersen. So say goodbye to him and potentially say hello to the biggest draft prospect as a goalie that we've seen since Carey Price. That's right, since Carey Price. I'm talking about Yaroslav Askarov from Russia. This goalie, he's been extremely hyped, and if you haven't heard about him, he's projected as a possible top 5 pick. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went in the top 5. Ottawa has 2 picks in the first 5 picks. So they might pick a player at a skill position and then go for a goalie. I wouldn't be surprised. But just if Askarov is available at 15, I think you need to consider taking him. I know that a rookie goaltender on a team that the Maple Leafs want to have winning cups isn't ideal. But this kid has the potential to be special. He is playing as a 16-year-old in a league occupied by mostly 18 and 20-year-olds, and he had success. And that's in Russia, where hockey is huge, just like it is in Canada. He's the consensus number 1 goaltender to be picked among all goalie prospects, and that's from NHL scouts. They see what they like. Askarov has the potential to be the next Alexei Vasilevsky. Anybody. Carey Price, you name it. This guy has a lot of potential, and I think you need to at least look at it before you write him off. NHL.com's third-ranked prospect in this year's draft, Jamie Drysdale. He's a defenseman with a right-handed shot that stands in at 5'11" and 175 pounds from the Erie Otters. He posted 47 points in 49 games in the Ontario Hockey League this year, and he's a great skater. He's just got a small body with 5'11", 175 pounds. Not exactly your ideal defenseman. He is an offensive presence, though, and he reminds me a lot of Morgan Riley or Erik Karlsson. Personally, I don't think he's falling down past 3, nor do I really see him as a fit for the Maple Leafs. We saw how Tyson Barrie came into Toronto. Didn't work out. We need grit. We need a bigger defenseman, a big-body defenseman, and maybe a right-handed shot as well. He doesn't check all the boxes. Drysdale is a no for me. Next, from the University of North Dakota, we have Jake Sanderson, who stands in at 6'2", 185 pounds. He's ranked 4th on NHL.com's prospect list, and he's a physical defenseman with long reach and a great skating ability. He's got long strides that will just bolster him across the ice faster than most people. Why do you think Zdeno Chara has been so successful as a defenseman in the NHL. It's not because of his skill. I'll tell you why. It's because he has brains, he's smart, and his size. His long reach allows him to push people away to the sides because they're afraid of having the puck stolen, and they're just afraid of getting hit by him because he's a monster. That's the kind of defenseman I believe Jake Sanderson could be. The height, 6'2", 185 pounds, long strides. He pushes people to the corners. Everything you need in a defenseman. Jake Sanderson is someone I'd love to fall to the Maple Leafs. I just don't see it happening. If we want Sanderson, I think we're going to have to move up. From the Prince Albert Raiders of the WHL, we have Kaden Guhle standing at 6'2", 186 pounds. He's ranked as the 8th prospect on NHL.com, and he's a physical defenseman. He's not afraid to get in the dirty areas, makes big hits, and he reminds me of Jake Muzzin a lot, except for the fact I think he's a better skater. As the 8th ranked prospect in this year's draft, he could definitely fall down to the Maple Leafs. It's a possibility. And if he did, I think it would be a mistake not to take Kaden Guhle. From the Brandon Wheat Kings of the WHL, at 6'2", 202 pounds, we have Braden Schneider, who's actually been on TSN's mock draft as going to the Maple Leafs. So this is definitely a possibility. He's the 9th ranked prospect on NHL.com, and he's always making things happen. Always. He's a fantastic shot, and he also appears to be a very strong skater. If Braden Schneider is available at 15, expect the Maple Leafs to jump on it. He's a right-handed shot as well. Fits right into the Maple Leafs' needs, and maybe he could even get some playing time next season. Next, we have another big-bodied defenseman with a right-handed shot, just what the Maple Leafs need. Justin Barron, standing at 6'2" and 195 pounds from the Halifax Mooseheads. The thing on him, though, he doesn't really look like the most mobile defenseman, and that's a problem. I think he has the chance to be a great, successful career, but my comparison for him is Shea Weber, because he has a wicked shot from the point. I just don't think that he fits in with the Maple Leafs. What do you want the Maple Leafs to do with their 15th overall pick? Do you want them to draft a forward, a defenseman, a goalie? Do you want them to trade it for a defenseman, goalie, forward, whatever? You let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching this video.